Okay, so I will get started then. So this is my lecture on the third and final deciding game of the 2015 British Go Championship, which was between myself, Andrew Simons, 4Dan, and Andrew Kay, who's here as Wolfreak2 on KGS, 5Dan. It was actually played in February 2016. Um, Andrew Kay won the first game and I won the second game, and we had reduced it to best of three instead of best of five because we had some trouble scheduling the games. So this was the deciding game. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask them. So I will get started. So yeah, I'm recording in this demo has got the other two games in as well. And I'll do this third game in it too. So in this game, I was black. So I did this large enclosure. So again, with this game, I thought I'd do a... Yeah, so my plan before was maybe to do like this kind of approach. And then probably Andrew will play his favourite pincer here. And then I might take the corner or double approach. But I felt to play a rather steadier game. So the most steady would be the tighter corner enclosure. But I felt I wanted to just be a little bit bigger than that one. So no, I didn't overthink it a lot, but just one thing that does happen that's kind of recent pro games, but maybe Andrew actually hadn't sort of seen these kind of things, was if you do this. What is it? Actually, no, it's not quite in this shape. Maybe. But one kind of thing which seems to happen quite a lot these days is white plays things like this move. And if white can get this kind of thing, then you can play here, which makes quite a nice shape on the lower side for white. Black gets a nicer corner, but compared to if you just played, like, it stops black doing this. In fact, the sort of thing which I think pros seem to be doing quite a lot with that move is if you've got this corner, then they do this kind of thing. And then now again, instead of just playing this simple extension, which lets black play here, white is playing things like this. And again, if white gets, maybe white would extend, I don't know, would white do this with the hanging connection or maybe the solid connection? I don't know. White might play something like this. And this is quite like that AlphaGo game as well. AlphaGo, what was it? Lisa Doll played this one. AlphaGo ignored it to play here, and then Lisa Doll played this kind of thing. So with all of these sequences, this attachment is okay against the small corner because black's already quite solid there, and so black gets a little bit sort of over concentrated feeling. But if I change this to the big corner, then now black's just happy to stand, and it's a good exchange for black because white solidified black's corner, which wasn't black's solid territory before. So it's kind of means this attachment isn't going to be good for white. So that's one idea of the big corner when I played it. Also, the Comey's quite big, so I thought, you know, if you get the corner when you play the big corner, then you get more points, and if you don't, something happens. Anyway. Andrew just played here, which is quite kind of old-fashioned style these days. It's quite, so these days seems to be more fashionable to go this one, but it's just a simple move. So this one, the idea is if white simply answers, which is okay, then now maybe I'll play something like either this one or maybe n3, and the idea is to do something like, maybe you play these directly or maybe not. Now actually here, white, Honte is for white to play here, but this is probably a bit slow, so maybe white won't bother. But if white did that, black would be very happy to play something like this and build a nice moyo on the right side. You know, maybe white would actually come in or do something different. Black, if black was worried about that, black can also just simply jump here directly. And white might jump here or might not. And that's another opening. But Andrew didn't feel like being obedient, so he played here. And I said, well, you ignored my move, so I'll play over here. I didn't want to answer his move. It's kind of a fighting spirit. And also, if white does end up double approaching mine, so let's just, for the sake of the argument, say white played here, and I took the corner, then in this double approach, it's worth noting that white already has a stone here. So this stone could become useful for white in the fight, but it's also possible that I could make it over-concentrated in the fight. So it's not clear whether this move will become a good stone or a bad stone. So I mean, just a quick sort of thing which could show it being over-concentrated is, let's say I did something like this. If white ends up connecting here and I come out like this, then now it's too close to the wall. It should be further away. So this is sort of one way in which black can try to turn it into an over-concentrated inefficient stone. Yeah, so white would do something different, like, what did he say? Yeah, exactly, white could do this, and then like this. So yeah, it's kind of, yeah, there's other, but this is just an example. So probably black would actually, yeah, I would play, what would I play? Richard, would I play that attack? Or just Kasumi? Yeah. It's a bit heavy to block like that though, isn't it? Normally I think you want to just play like this. Maybe. But the outside isn't too amazing because white can also flatten it. White's got this kind of thing. Oh. There's also things like this. So in this way, K3 looks kind of sensible. So it's not necessarily where white wants it, because sometimes white wants it to be at L3 in this kind of shape. Anyway, So after double approach, white answered over here. And this is a sort of fairly standard Joseki after double approach. Black gets to play on both sides, but white gets to keep a small base in the corner. Just maybe a good point of technique, it will be clear why later. Black shouldn't play this Atari. And then if black did the same, this Atari would actually turn into a bad move, so we'll see in a minute why. White blocks the corner, black comes out. So you can see in this shape, black plays this one rather than this one to actually defend the cutting point, which means there is some bad agi for white in the corner. So you can see that in the lower side, if this kind of Joseki happened, this move white might prefer to be at L3 if that kind of variation happened on the lower side. So the normal move here is white to defend here, but this will give me Sente. But I think this might have actually been better than what he played in the game, because there's kind of Andrew was a bit worried that I'd make something nice on the top side. So let's say maybe if I did this, maybe if white did this, and black played here or something like that. That's quite a nice top side. But there's a few questions with this one. So like maybe approach, maybe white could pincer it. Would this be a good fight for white? Probably black's okay. But it could be complicated. The idea white is trying to sort of, if black was to do something like this, white's looking at these kind of weaknesses in this wall, which will help white to get out. Yeah, it feels black's okay here, so maybe white should just answer. And black builds a nice thing here, but white gets Sente, which is quite nice. And white could then double approach this stone somewhere like this. So if you remember, a long time ago, white played this approach, and black didn't answer it. So black really owes a move to his corner here. So if black did something on the top side, black might do something else, maybe something like this. Maybe black could get that in Sente. Maybe, and then black might be able to come back over to here. But basically, if black takes Gote on the top side, white can double approach on the lower side, so I think white's okay. The other thing white could do, white could double approach maybe now. I think this would be okay. Or just defend the corner. So the things that the corner is defending against, so Andrew played this one, which reduces the influence of my black wall and aims at some kind of attack against it in the future. But it doesn't defend the corner, and I have a little Tesuji in the corner here. So I played here. And the normal move for white is to cut it off like this, and then black can play like this and connect up to the right side. And then white can cut here and capture 3 stones, and black can sacrifice it either with some Ataris or maybe just, I don't know. If I Atari, I end up with a cutting point, which I kind of need to defend. And this wall is a bit heavy with this stone here. But also white's group has actually only got 1 eye, so kind of black is trying to make white eventually make 2 eyes by playing at 018. That's kind of for the future. Or my plan in the game was probably to play this one. And if white just captures the stones, then I take Sente, or maybe play this one. And white can later connect on the top side, but it's kind of small now, and I'm not too worried about it. And later in the future, if white might play some double approach here. Let's just say black gets Sente. In the future, there could be this kind of move to separate white on the top side. And if white does this kind of thing, it does leave two cuts, so black's never actually going to be able to do a lot, but black could play something like that. So that might be for the future. M18. Yes. Yeah, so that way, if I do this, I kind of, if I don't carry on, it seems like, what did I do? And yeah, it's a bit kind of shapeless to play here. Let's just have a quick look at this corner thing. So before white goes this way, if we just have a look in the corner, black's all safely connected. So if white does this, this is a ladder. We can see that if this move was here, then now there is actually a problem for black. Because if black was to do like this, oh dear. So black might do, well, I don't know what black would do. Black would cry. Because yeah, black's going to lose one of the outside stones. So the other thing that's key here is why black shouldn't play this Atari. So if white plays here now, this is a double Atari. So this is okay for black. And even if black had played this Atari, if white played here, black can still play here and capture one stone. So black's okay, but white has a Tesuji here. So if black had played this and black played here, white's clamp here is a clever move. Because now, for example, if black does this, white can just cut, and black is captured in the corner and didn't achieve anything. If black does this, white then plays here, and black is short of liberties to capture. So black's just going to die in the corner, probably. Or maybe some cut or something here. But black, and if black was to do boop, 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 white can just, no. So just like that. Yeah. After the Atari. Which is Atari? Yeah, black's not short of liberties. What does white do? Just connect and let black live in the corner. Oh, yeah. Yeah, if black's done, yeah, sorry, yeah. White could have got this one. Yeah, and then if black's done this bad Atari, then this doesn't work like this. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, and now white can extend. Yes, that seems to be true. Yeah, there we go, yeah. That looks correct, doesn't it? Yeah, okay, you can just do this. Or even here, depends which move you want to give Sente. Yeah, so there we go. Yeah, so if black's played the bad Atari, white should descend rather than Hane. So that's why this Atari is bad. Because this Atari makes this move not work anymore. So, in the game, I immediately played here. So yeah, I was sort of thinking, should I answer over here? I felt, let's just immediately punish black for not punish white for not defending in the corner. And he played this one, which, yeah, is a bit unusual. So here you need to remember to play this Atari. If you just do this one, then what's white going to do? This one, and it's the same shortage of liberties for black, and black would just die, so that wouldn't be good. So black does this. Now, again, white doesn't just connect, because then black would connect. White does this cut, and manages to cut black, but gives black an eye in the corner, or two eyes. So black lives in the corner and takes the base in the corner, but white gets to connect. And white didn't play this one, so black's cutting point is safe on the outside. So this is a success for black to take the corner from white, because white's group's now baseless, but black does have groups on each side which are a bit weak that need taking care of. So there's still some fighting to happen. So I defended the top one because I thought that was the most important, because white's already got that G17 stone. So I was thinking about going here, but I felt it was leaves too many annoyances with this peep. This peep's quite annoying. So and then white played here, which we both agreed afterwards was a bit soft probably, because it lets black defend both sides. Playing here to attack this side is probably a bit of an overplay, because white's group in the centre is weak as well. But probably white here could be okay to attack the corner. So it's not directly attacking these stones yet, but it's, you know, black never answered in the corner. So if white gets something here, then white should be able to get stronger in this area a bit, and then maybe later can attack the triangle group. Because he played this move, I played this one probably a bit too quickly, because I was kind of quite happy to be able to defend on both sides, because I was kind of thinking that this area and this area were Miai, and I managed to get both. But I should maybe just go here. This does leave a gap, but it's not really a gap you need to worry about, because that middle group is still weak. So if white comes in, black can just split like this and come out to the center, and white's central group is weak, and he's got the invasion stone that's weak. So I mean, in the future, if the central group gets stronger, then this could be a bit of a worry. But for now, I think helping the corner is more important. So yeah, I did that, and he immediately came in here to try to separate me. Yeah, I also thought he could maybe just take the corner. Probably something like this might happen, and then something like this. But maybe it's a bit too simple. But the corner is quite big too. Anyone got any questions? I think it's all right, isn't it? It sort of gives me an opportunity to make any mistake. I don't know. It might not be the best move, but I think it's easy for me to make a mistake following this that's bigger than the lead I have at the moment. So that seems a good enough reason to play it, doesn't it? What would you have preferred afterwards? Did you have something? Well, I think the result you got here was alright. Yeah. You in the centre. What kind of centre? I was actually thinking about this kind of move, because if I answer it, it's kind of a bit soft because the corner's still open. And if I defend the corner, there's so much gappy stuff that there's going to be something in the middle to separate. Or do you mean some kind of shapy, jumpy thing like this? I was thinking if you did something like this, I was tempted to do this, which is maybe a bit inflexible, but it's sort of aiming at the M3 gap and saying you're too busy to come inside. Maybe if you jump, and if I, this seems white's sort of got some center potential as well now, hasn't he? Yeah, and then some kind of far extension like this, and you sort of try to make some points in the middle somehow. Anyway, so and this wedge gives black cutting points and things. So I did think for a bit, probably the Kibitzers were going like, what's he thinking about? So I was looking a bit at things like, what was it? Yeah, so like this is not really very good if you give white the capture, because that's now, if you connect like this, white's starting to make big wall across the center. And this kind of thing is just, although the shape is slightly broken for white immediately, it's actually, not that great because black's getting cut on the side. Maybe black would try this code connection. White might even probably not play this because black will be okay to play here. So this didn't seem terribly wonderful. So although here, also I did this afterwards. So if I just show the results, so white played here, which is a bit more cornery points than just extending, and then I got this, and black feels a bit clumsy. I think here could be better. So white can't really cut immediately because black will probably just turn. And if white does this, I think black can even do like this. Because if white cuts, black can get that. Like this. You take the Atari. Maybe K3 is useful here, is it? And this is also quite annoying. Yeah. What was it? Or something like that. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe some reading to be had. Anyway, so sorry. Yeah, so this is sort of pressing, aiming at the center. Maybe black should directly attack, because if white does answer like this, it's probably just a good exchange for black, and then maybe black keep chasing, or maybe black does this, and then if white comes out, it's probably nice for black to have got that one extra move. White might do this, but then there's some possibilities of cuts and things. So yeah, he wasn't so obedient to just answer this one, because he can still connect at P2. So he just put this in, I answered it. and then he made shape in the centre to stop an attack on the centre. And I cut here, and he jumped here. So the idea is if he does this, I'm going to play some pincer here or something. But maybe he should have just made a base. And in hindsight, I think I should have played like this move even in the game. So this peep, maybe it's good to make it heavy, maybe it's not. Maybe it's good. And then just here. So the reason I didn't play here is if white plays some base thing, there is a ko here, but it's sort of quite a hard ko because I've got a stone and Atari in the ko. And so I felt that I'd never be able to play this ko. But even if I don't play the ko, I think it's better for me because let's just say in the endgame I do like this. This will be my sente too. So that's quite nice. And black gets some points and some eyes and stuff. And this group with the jump is safe enough for now, but there's still some, still some things. And black's big corner, if black gets the corner, then black's quite happy to get the big corner. So maybe white might try, white could play something like this, but black can just answer, and there's still a problem for white, and black's corner is quite nice. Now, the agi at h3 is not so bad because moves like this are sente for white to save the 2 stones. But I think like this, black would be better than the game. I was a little bit worried about, what was it? Some agi. Was there some agi here that did anything? White like this. This is just captured. But there is some. It's a bit annoying if white gets this Atari and I can get that Atari or something. But it's a bit annoying if white gets to force me a bit. But yeah, I think that would have been better because here my corner still has problems. And white got to save these stones. So yeah, I regretted this. It was kind of my plan to do this and then jump, and then white jump, and then get sente. But the points on the lower side is quite a big swing from white points to black points. Also, there is this cutting point here, which I've kind of fixed enough for now, but there is still a cutting point there that's a bit annoying, so white might be able to cut or peep or something there. But anyway, I at least got sente to play here, which is quite a big point, and I felt the game was still going quite nicely for me. Right here. So the classic way to reduce this thing is to play this one first, and if black answers, then this one, because now if black does here, white can come out quite nicely. Andrew directly played here, and I played here, which I think is a mistake, and I kind of knew it when I played it. If I want to keep the corner, I should play this one, and this allows white to run out to the centre. But with one weak group here and another weakish group here, making a third one should give black. Well, it's not an easy game because you have to profit from all the weaknesses, and if white ends up living with all of them, you might not have enough points. But black would be quite okay with that kind of game if white wants to pull the stone out. So that's something I regretted. So he did that and then he left it, having got the wrong answer from me. And then this one's a bit tricky. So I played here, which quite a lot of people were surprised by, which is just a very simple, trying to keep the game simple and solid. So if I do Well, let's look. So if white peeked first, I can play here, isn't it? And then if white goes here, I think I can stand, because if white cuts, I can Atari and then play here. Question is, can white play this one? If white can get this in Sente, then white cut. In this one. So if white, this kind of thing. Push. Oh, Atari. Or like this. Well, yeah, that's a code, but I thought it just did that. But I suppose you're quite, if you do get to capture, that's kind of something for you. So where was it? If like, so yeah, if white can do something like this, my thing was if I get this Atari, which is quite nice, if I can then do this, this is quite nice squeeze. And it's even not actually two eyes, and then probably I follow up with something like this. And white probably has to sacrifice with, I don't know, maybe put this in or something. Something like this. I think this would be okay for me. But the thing to note here is I answered this with the stand. If I answer here, white can't cut here immediately because this will just happen. But white can do something like this. And if I were to say, well, I can give a stone and capture these back, but it's a bit annoying to give white that capture because now that's got a lot stronger. So this, all of this area, there's still the corner might be open, but white's getting stronger. So white got something for it more than I think black got. So I didn't really fancy that. And if I played, well, yeah, if white wants to be super annoying, something here, and, more complicated. Oh, connect. Oh, I like this one. Yeah, just like the simplest kind of thing, which is a bit to show it's a bit rubbish for black. It's like this kind of thing. White successfully steals the points. So the key point here is that I don't answer here. I want to answer here. So if white plays this one first and I answer here, which looks quite natural, then if white plays here and I end up playing something like this, it reverts to me playing 1, 2, 3, 4 when I wanted to play 4 as extension. Macely, who you might know from Go for Go, I think he suggested that I play this one because he didn't like M17 being so submissive. And like in this kind of thing, maybe white can capture the 3 stones, but black should be able to get something on the outside. But I didn't really read this one fully. Maybe it could be okay, but it's a bit, I don't know, what does white do? This or this? I don't know. Or the Peep. M18. Ooh. So let's just, if I was to do like this, the cut doesn't work yet, does it? But then you play this. It's just, I don't know, do I want to play those Ataris? And something like this. White takes away some of the base, but white's shape's a bit. You want to cut? Instead of K80. Oh, what, here? You and your codes. Anyway, let's get a move on. So, yeah, basically, maybe this is okay, but I just want it to be simple. It probably is a little bit slack, because later in the game, white can pull out like this, and if something like this happens, white takes away some base. But anyway, white just took the corner, because that's kind of the last big move, and I'm aiming to invade that corner if white doesn't defend. This is maybe a bit Aji-Keshi, because maybe I could do other things, like here or something. I wanted to play things like this, but the problem is that L17 stone is quite annoying for white. So, for example, let's just say this L17 becomes quite sensible and useful now. So these trades don't look too good for black. So I just jumped here. I think now is a good time for me to get this Peep, because probably white will have to answer it now. Some people after the game said, like, why didn't I just defend the corner? But that seems a bit crappy. But I think Peep and then jump would be good. So white then activated the cornerstone, and I didn't feel like giving a ko like this, even if maybe I should. I wanted to kill, but if I want to kill or chase it out, then I definitely should have played this block in the corner. So up to now I was quite calm, but I felt I didn't want to let him live too easily or get a ko too easily. So the game got quite exciting. Yeah, and then here I was just expecting this sort of simple Atari and come out, and then I'll play some attacking type move. But this one kept the options, and then I did this. And then these moves, which maybe weren't actually so good because they did make a cutting point. Yeah, so here, the other option I could do this capture, which means b4 isn't sente, but then this is sente. And then if, what was it? If he does this, and I defend here, maybe I was something like this. So like the d8 stone is quite useful here. So I mean, this is very crude, but just to show one way in which it's useful is it means that there's not a cut now after this push. If I was to try this, I can try these kind of things, and this might still be okay. But that's why I just extended here. Because even if he gets this, And this, it's just an L group in the corner, so that's not alive. So b4 being sente, I didn't think was too big. I thought I wanted a stone on the outside. So now this peep is too late. Maybe I should just defend. But it's a bit annoying because maybe white can do something like this, or yeah. Basically, I would like to have had this exchange on the board in this kind of position. But obviously Andrew realizes that, so he did this, which uses a weakness in my shape. I just captured, and he captured my, or knife and captured my 3 stones. But now his corner is alive, and I can capture these 3 stones. But this is actually a bit of a failure for me because my plan was to get 1, 2, 3 weak groups being chased together, and getting some profit or killing one of them or something. But in the end, he sacrificed just 3, so he only sacrificed half of that group, and he lived in the corner in quite a profitable way. So that was not such a successful strategy for me. But I did get some points from killing those 3 stones. He immediately takes that sente endgame. And then we keep on playing some Go. So here there is some shape weakness. So if he tanuked, I think Andrew was worried of, was it this one? That's a ladder. What's the shapey cutty stuff? I don't know, I mean, at a minimum I've got, I mean, this is a nice shape point. M10. Yeah, just attack the group as a whole, yeah. Which is, I think I played this a few moves later in the game. I think there was one thing where we were looking at a cut and some variation, but maybe that was a different position. Yeah. So white did this. Oh yeah, and I defended very quickly. Afterwards, when Ming Li, the Go for Go guy, made some comments, he suggested just ignoring this one because it's a ko for, you know, like 12 points. So, you know, maybe I just play here directly and play the ko. Because if I win the ko, I've got the S15 cut. And if I don't win the ko, then the corner dies, and I get some moves elsewhere. You know, there's some big moves like here and here, and if I convert the center. So yeah, I think I answered that a little bit too unthinkingly. And then here, so white's using the T15 stone to look at that R12 weakness. I got this. I think, yeah, afterwards then Andrew said he preferred to play some move around this area. So I played here, and this is a sharp thingy. So again, we can see, for example, if you remember a long time ago, if I had played that triangle move, then S7 would have been my sente against the corner. So that would have been quite valuable to stop, or it doesn't immediately, if I have F7, sorry, and like white's answered, there is still this kind of connection, but just that move in sente is definitely very useful to reduce the agi of those kind of moves. So I didn't feel like defending passively or anything. R7 was also Sente. Oh, just that one. Oh, right, yeah. Yeah. But could white have answered with like S7, and then if black answers S8, can you Tanuki, or is that still Sente? So just to show what we're talking about, if it's in this, let's just put a black stone here or something. We're saying this is Sente against this kind of move. No? Oh, you mean the connection again afterwards? Oh, yeah, yeah. But then there's also that, which kind of the answer has some value. But yeah, the agi is even less now for white. It's a miserable connection if it is a connection. Yeah. Yeah, so anyway, that Q2 move would have been very useful in all this kind of stuff. So in the game, I went here, white went here. I pushed here to ruin white's shape, because I think if white had actually just played here, make some eye, it's not so bad for white. White then pushed here, which is sharp, because I have to answer this side. And then answer here. Just click. Yeah, so at this point I was this block is really big and thick and nicely makes a load of points. But then obviously this is very nice for white. Yeah, I really didn't want to give up on G15, but what I should have done, which Mace Lee pointed out, was answer here is okay, but this one, at this point, Tanuki. And now, if white captures the stones, you can give Atari once, and then you can just start the end game, and black should win this one quite easily. Maybe here, or maybe here. So yeah, this is a good example of knowing when to stop the attack and give up some stuff. And just if white doesn't take the stones, let's say white played this move or something, then now black will save them in Sente, and white will need to live with the group, here or something. White might try to play some moves in Sente, like maybe something like this, and say that those moves are enough to stop the group from dying and then play something. But now probably still black will be able to save the stones in Sente. So I think this was a key point where I could have easily wrapped up the game instead of having to keep on going. So I connected and white pushed in now. So here I was just kind of being pushed around a bit, and I probably could have done this Atari. Probably white does this or something. What is it? Connect. No. What was it? What does white do? Oh yeah, p6, yeah, that one, yeah. Because if white captures like that, then now there's a shortage of liberties in it. This is an Atari. So if black does that, black can then live inside. That's probably still okay for black, but white got a bit on the right. And if white, oops, if black were to do something like this, then there's these kind of things. Anyway, I just answered here, yeah, it's a bit soft. It's just, yeah, not the best move, but I was being lazy. So I let white connect out in the end and live with that group. But white is still a bit slow to connect, so white wanted to play some endgame stuff first. Maybe this is Aji-Keshi. Yeah, so yeah, if white just, if just to make it clear, if white does this, I'm going to play here or b4, and I should be ahead. So, yeah, maybe b4 is better, but yeah. So what would white do? b1. Yeah. So yeah, the big question here was whether white could connect to the center group, or whether if black can play some move here, does white need to connect to s7 to live, and then would the corner group be in danger? I think it can just. Do you even need something that fancy? Like, what if you just play like here? Because is there some shortage of liberties or not? I suppose this is a cone. Yeah. You've got that Atari coming up there, haven't you? This kind of thing. Or just, yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah. Well, actually, one thing as well though is I didn't mind too much if this. What was it? So yeah, that Atari means that E8 isn't forcing anymore. This isn't Sente. So although B4 and Sente for white is nice and big for points, it does also mean that's not Sente, which is relevant to the center. Because, yeah, this peep's probably not very good. I guess I should just play here. But I played this and he just got the points. And I can capture one stone, but it's not so big. And then this looks like a Tesuji. So probably Andrew should read a bit more now instead of a few moves later, because he thought the ladder was good for him. So what's the better answer? Maybe... Did you? You just read badly. Maybe you want to do this one? It's not the ladder. Is that better? And then what do we do? Do you want to play lots of Ataris, or do you just sort of run away and make some shape? Because it's already connected at S7, so maybe you... Yeah. So what happens? So this isn't a ladder. And if this was Sente, which it would have been if white hadn't played b4, probably, or very painful to ignore. Now it's not. So so Andrew thought this was Sente for fun times, but it wasn't. So I just extended. Some people thought I should just capture and was like, oh, that's enough to win, but I don't really like giving that Atari. So this one I can just answer. And the point is this doesn't work because if here, this is a double threat to cut. So, blop, blop. Yeah, some people seem to think I could connect here, but that looks like a problem because white's got that Atari in Sente, and then white cuts. Oh, but white's short of liberties to cut Atari. Yeah, Q14 is self-Atari. Maybe it is okay then. Yeah. In the game I'd read that the cut would here, but I didn't see there was a shortage of liberties for white. So maybe I can actually do this. Oh well. Well, that would have been better for me then, wouldn't it, if I'd done that? So white got to cut here, but lost some points at the top, then comes into the centre. My shape's a bit thin here. And then he finishes off the capture of those stones. I get to play some endgame. So capturing those 3 stones was quite big, but then here he should just block or something. Yeah. Then I come back to connect here. Yeah, so here was nice. So this is the sort of crucial move to take the eye shape from white. So like if I was to just play here, white will play here and make himself a second eye on the outside, which is quite nice. So take the eye, white then needs to live in the corner. And I get to cut off 1 stone. So that's now definitely got enough points for the win. However, immediately white played here, and lots of people, and I by now I've been in Byomi for quite a while, lots of people are like, oh, what's he thinking about? He should just connect. But if you connect, there is a big nasty problem. So white, let's look at it, but white then pushes here. If black blocks, let's just do all the obvious answers. If black blocks. The order is white throwing. So you want to squeeze the liberties as much as possible. Then cut, black defend, white Atari, black defend, white Atari, black captures something, white Atari, game over. So the crucial point here is that you don't, some of the people watching were playing this Atari too early. So if you do that one too early, then obviously now this one is not a problem. It's not doing something because black can capture them. So you need to do that Atari, the J5 as late as possible. So some other options, for example, what if black connects here? Then now white should play this Atari and then down, because if black does that, it's all dead again. And if black captures, well, you just Atari and it's all dead again. What if black maybe did this? That one's quite easy. You got an Atari, you got some snapback thing. So there is a problem inside. Now the best way to answer it is this, because now there's that black group has unconditionally got 2 eyes, so all of those problems are fixed, and it's worth some points, and it also takes a liberty, because now if white was to do this and black does this and white does whatever endgame, black can't connect because he's short of liberties for the corner fun stuff, or well, it's a code. Black can't play this squeeze because he's short of liberties on the outside. So this corner shape is normally alive if you've got 2 outside liberties. So that was a bit of a mistake, but I was just in panic, don't die mode, so I played here. So he got to capture a bit there, and I got to capture those. And then, yeah, not really much to say in this end game, I don't think. Oh yeah, there was. I can never win a game without some excitement in Variomi, can I? I played this funny code thing. So yeah, just to be simple, I should probably take here. And I didn't think it worked for him, but it wasn't a good idea to play this code. So if we just have a look what happened. Lots of code threats for white. And in the end, it is actually a double code, so I am okay. But that was not a good way to finish the game. And I guess not much else happened, did we? We just finished the game. White made a spare eye on the outside, which was quite nice for him. I got to connect the code. And at the end, I won by 15 points. So that was the deciding game. Anyone got any questions? Yeah, so the yes, I think I was, yeah. Yeah, so that was the view of Mace Lee. Thought I was ahead after that corner. But I'm not. I said after that. I'm not sure after this. Where was it? Up to this, probably I still am, but I definitely lost out in the lower right corner when white got like this. So I'm not sure if I lost all my advantage, but definitely, yeah, white gained here. And then I think, yeah, when I left white, oops, when I let white get that, I think this just keep the territory lead. If you switch to a thickness lead and you have to demonstrate that you're going to profit from it, it's possible to screw it up. But I think here, just keep the points. Yeah, and also, where was it? That I think was one of the key things for me to remember is this, yeah, sacrifice at this point. It was funny because I was thinking of playing the block here, but I didn't think about it here. Maybe because I just like in my head had always thought this is white sente and I need to answer it or something. But I just, yeah, here if I just cut block, sorry, this is a lot cleaner. Yeah, so the candidates is this is in a few weeks now, isn't it? In Letchworth, I think. So yeah, I won't be going to that. I don't need to. Andrew has gone to it when he hasn't needed to. And then the challenges at the end of May. Apparently, Junan Zhang will be playing in it this year because he's now lived here for 5 years. Bruno will be playing in it as well, I think. And Bruno's getting stronger. Don't know who else. Yeah, and if the championship is the title match is arranged to actually like happen in the summer like it normally does, I could be British champion for this like 4 months or something. Okay, well I think I will end it there then. So thanks for watching and see you around.